The breaking news that's coming in regarding Arvind Kejriwal, there's been no immediate relief for the Delhi Chief Minister. The Supreme Court has now deferred the hearing on the Delhi Chief Minister's plea, which challenged the arrest by Enforcement Directorate. In fact, the Supreme Court has now posed 5 questions to the Enforcement Directorate, and it has asked the ED to answer all questions, including one of the most important questions that the Supreme Court has posed to the Enforcement Directorate, which is the timing of the arrest that has been now questioned by the Supreme Court. So no relief for Arvind Kejriwal yet. That hearing has been deferred on his plea that challenged his arrest. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal has always maintained that his arrest is illegal and unconstitutional. The ED, of course, putting its points across, putting its case forward in the court. Now that hearing on the plea has been deferred, but the Supreme Court has posed 5 important questions to the Enforcement Directorate, and it has asked the probe agency to answer all questions at the next hearing. Let me go across to my colleague Harish for more on this. Harish, even though it's been a setback for Arvind Kejriwal, the hearing on his plea has been deferred. But importantly, the Supreme Court has posed 5 questions to the Enforcement Directorate, including one on the timing of the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal.
Right, as rightly said, there is no immediate relief for Arvind Kejriwal, as the Supreme Court, after hearing this matter from 2 p.m. to 4:30 today, has adjourned it for further hearing Friday 2:30, that is on 3rd May, saying that it cannot hear this matter tomorrow or day after, as this particular bench is not available. But as you rightly said, what is important is that 5 questions have been listed for the ED to respond on the next date of hearing. Most important of that being, this is Sanjeev Khanna said that Kejriwal has alleged that his arrest has been timed for the general elections to disable him from campaigning, and so the ED has to respond to that particular allegation. Remember, Kejriwal in his petition, as the main argument is that he was arrested in a motivated manner in the middle of the elections, and especially after the declaration of the schedule of general election 2024. He calls it an assault on tenets of democracy based on free and fair election, and he has said that the arrest bears serious irreversible ramification for the future of electoral democracy in India. If the petition is not released forthwith to participate in the upcoming elections, it will establish a precedent that ruling party can arrest heads of political opposition on flimsy and vexatious charges. So, the biggest takeaway is that the Justice Sanjeev Khanna of Supreme Court has asked ED to respond to this particular allegation, that is Kejriwal's allegation that his arrest is timed for the general elections to disable him from campaigning for his party.
All right, Harish, thank you very much for joining us with those details of what transpired in the court. Clearly no relief for Arvind Kejriwal anytime soon. But of course, now the onus lies on the Enforcement Directorate as to answer the 5 questions that the Supreme Court has posed to it. Let's move on.